Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this live stream about on LinkedIn. I'm going to just give it a couple seconds to see who joins, if anyone's joining. Hello, Mad Flavor Chaser. Let's just see. I'm going to go over here on LinkedIn to go to my event and actually. I'm so happy. Sorry, guys. Okay. All set, I think. Cheers. All right, let me just have a quick little sip of water. By little sip, I mean little sip because I don't seem to have a lot. Okay, so sorry I was taking a little bit of a minute to get started. My internet has actually been up and down today here at my house, which has not been the best, but I'm here and we're ready to go. So we're talking about becoming a leader on LinkedIn today. And let's see, what are we going to talk about? All right. So how to position yourself as a leader, a thought leader on LinkedIn. So first of all, we're going to talk about crafting your personal identity. And then we're going to move into navigating LinkedIn as a business network. We're going to then talk about building connections and engagement. And then lastly, we're going to talk about, we're just going to wrap it up and talk about any answers to any questions. So Patty, I'm glad you're here. Anyone else? I just want to I feel like I have to refresh this and pause myself. All right. So let me know if you're joining. Let me know if you're joining in comments. I look forward to having a conversation here. But in the meantime, I'm going to move this over here and this over here, just a tiny. All right. Welcome. I got to get comfy. To talk about it, you know? I hope that this view is good. Let's just see. Yeah, this will work. We'll just move this just a tiny bit. What is up, 1OAK? One Oak. It's nice to see you. All right, here we go. This is episode 2 of From Follower to Leader, a social media growth series. And this one is called How to Position Yourself as a Thought Leader on LinkedIn. And here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to position yourself as a thought leader on LinkedIn. First, we're going to talk about crafting your personal identity. And that's going to cover off on writing your bio and also optimizing your entire profile page. In segment 2, we're going to talk about navigating LinkedIn as a business network. We're going to talk about how you're going to pretend it's business Facebook and also how to create content diversity. In segment 3, we're going to talk about engaging with others, building connections and engagement. We're going to talk about also taking a stand and being about something and how that's very important on LinkedIn. And then we're going to wrap it up and we're going to talk about next week's episode. So, why do I feel like, let me just, this is dirty. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Instagram friends. I don't know. That actually looks a little bit better. It feels like the camera was dirty. Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about how to become a leader on on Facebook, on business Facebook, how to become a leader on LinkedIn. All right. Let's see. Let's get going. Okay. All right. Hi. Anybody else still on, and anybody else on LinkedIn? I believe there are people on LinkedIn. Let me see. It's really hard for me, I don't know why, to see comments on LinkedIn. So if you are on LinkedIn, please do me a favor and make a comment so that I can see you. Okay. Episode 2. What's up, Matt? Okay. How to position yourself as a thought leader on LinkedIn. First of all, what is a thought leader? A thought leader is someone who other people trust for advice, for expertise, for the real straight facts, and for all of the interesting news that you get on social media. You look to thought leaders to either validate or invalidate that news. And that's what thought leaders are. And thought leaders also can create an entire news stream just by talking about something that is interesting to them and or important to them. And I'm going to talk about that later on. And so number one is, let me pause. Okay. This is great though. This actually makes for really good content. When I like pause and go back, then it's easier for me to edit. So, so being a thought leader on LinkedIn entails what's wrong with me today? I feel like maybe we need to like smoke a little. That's what it feels like. Anyone else feel like maybe we need to smoke a little? Be right back. There's only 2 people on. You guys can wait, right? I mean, really. Okay, I'm back. All right. So first we're going to smoke because I don't know, I'm having trouble getting my words out. And then we're going to go back to the top and we're going to get back started. So also, I feel like my friend, my main squeeze who usually joins me every single Wednesday is not here. So I'm inviting her. Oof. Okay. Now she feels good. Now she's ready. All right. What is this episode all about? This episode is about how to position yourself as a thought leader on LinkedIn. I've been working on growing my LinkedIn for a good 7 years now. I actually started committing to LinkedIn as a platform in about 2015 while I was a senior vice president doing public relations at an agency called Ketchum. And I realized that LinkedIn was going at that time from a platform that was all about how to get a job and talking about your career to being a place where people in business talked with each other and shared their perspective and actually grew their voice. And so I saw that happening in 2015, 2016. And I really started showing up to LinkedIn then. And over that time, I've learned a lot. And during the course of today, I'm going to share some of my lessons with you. Many of these things are always changing, but I'm going to do the best I can to help you guys grow on LinkedIn. Here's why growing on LinkedIn is important. If you are in the cannabis industry, it's extremely important, as LinkedIn is one of the only places where we can actually write the word cannabis. We can even use hashtag cannabis on LinkedIn. There's no other platforms where it's actually safe to even say that word out loud. So this is a reason why if you are not on LinkedIn and you're spending all of your time and energy on the other platforms, you should really be investing your time and energy on LinkedIn as well. Even if you are not in cannabis, if you are building a career, LinkedIn is a place where you can really talk about the things that matter to you about work. And that is why I love LinkedIn, because I actually love work. I love the business that I'm in. I love influencer marketing. I'm very interested and excited about social media. I love public relations. The cannabis industry, meh, but sometimes I just have personal issues about it. But this is the place where you get to go talk about work. For me, LinkedIn is a place, it's like my work. It's actually my workplace. I'm an entrepreneur and I don't have an office or a very big team. I don't have lots of peers to talk about my work with anymore, like I did when I worked at a big agency. So instead, I use LinkedIn to talk about the things that are important to me in business, whether that be about my clients, about politics, about the world, about the state of business, about the cannabis industry, writ large. This is the place where I come to talk about professional things, and I invite you to do the same. Okay, let's dig into it. So we're here to talk about how to position yourself as a thought leader on LinkedIn. And the first thing we're going to be talking about is crafting your bio, crafting your personal identity. And I'm going to actually share my screen. So if you are joining me on LinkedIn, this will be a much better experience because I'm going to share my screen and give you guys a peek at everything that I do on my personal profile. And let's see, I'm going to just open this up, get to my profile, and then that's not what I wanted. Home. Let's see, me. Okay. What is up? Whoever's joining me, it's lovely to see you. All right. Let's see, we're going to share screen. We're going to move this. We're going to go here. We're going to share screen. So for those joining on Instagram, if you'd like to join me over on LinkedIn, it's a much better experience because I'm going to be sharing my screen, but I'm going to be talking about about LinkedIn. And so it's important that I share. All right, let me just clear these out. Sorry about all my tabs. Thank you. I hope that was a kind statement about my haircut. I think it's pretty dope also. Sometimes people are not being nice, but I hope you're being nice. I think it's pretty dope. I mean, yeah. Okay. So LinkedIn. Actually, oh yeah, I figured out I can share my LinkedIn. I can share over here. This is a very sort of, what's the word? Rudimentary way of sharing my screen on Instagram. It's not the worst. I mean, you've seen worse. There I am. Okay, so here we are. This is let me just make sure that this isn't blocking my face. Okay, we're great. Okay, so let's get talking about the bio. The bio is one of the most important parts of your LinkedIn persona, right? I mean, um, am I a boy or a girl? I'm a girl. I am a woman, actually. So thanks. Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay. All right. So on LinkedIn, you're going to want to have your professional presence. Now, when you look at your bio right here, some people put where they're working. I don't think that is a strategy at all anymore. This part right here, right underneath your name. This is the place where people get a very quick snapshot of who you are. So you have only a few words there, and I would make the most of them. So mine, and I've had this for quite some time, and I might change it soon. You can change it anytime you want to. I feel like you could even change it once or twice a quarter. Don't change it once a month because that will be too much. But my headline right now is I say the quiet part out loud about cannabis, PR, and social media. I should probably, you know what? Let's add something to it. Let's add influencer marketing. Oops. Put that together. Okay, save. Great. Okay, so now you'll see I say the quiet part out loud about cannabis, influencer marketing, PR, and social media. My location is Boulder, Colorado, United States, and I have 11,410 followers. Gotta say, I am very proud of that. There's a lot of people who have a lot fewer followers than I do who get more engagement than I do, and there's a lot of people who have more followers than I do who get less engagement than I do. So it really doesn't matter how many followers you have. It matters that you become a part of the conversation, and we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Okay, so your bio is a great place to share about yourself. This headline right here is the most important thing. Down here, you have your analytics. This is how many people have seen your profile in the past 90 days. This is how many post impressions you have within the past 7 days. And this is how many searches you've shown up in. Here you can see all your analytics. You can see how many people viewed your newsletter, et cetera. And we're going to talk about newsletter in just a minute. You can also scroll down here and you can see your creator tools and what's available to you. So I'm just gonna, I can't go back. Like I can't see up here because I have a light literally right in the wrong place. Back. Okay. All right. So let's move down. I don't really use these resources, if I'm being honest. I'm sure there's great ways to use these, but that's not what's important to me. What I do is, what I do recommend is spending some serious time on your bio. I just recently rewrote my about section, and because it hadn't been rewritten for about maybe almost a year, a lot changes in a year. Now, even though I have an established career and that has not changed, the lens through which I'm looking through is now different. So, my about section talks about me, after almost 20 years in New York public relations at 2 top agencies working on Fortune 100 brands, I left my corporate PR. I left corporate PR behind in late 2018 and became a cannabis entrepreneur. Working for myself has emboldened me to use my voice to speak out about the good and the bad of the cannabis industry. I don't expect everyone to agree with me, and I reserve the right to change my mind. And if I'm wrong, I will definitely apologize. So, as you're going to see about me, I talk a lot of bullshit on LinkedIn, and it's not bullshit. I'm trying to really call people out. I mean, my bio line says I say the quiet part out loud about cannabis, influencer marketing, PR, and social media. So I better put my money where my mouth is and actually say the quiet part out loud. So then I also dig in here in my bio or in my about section into a little bit more about me. So I say I wasn't someone in high school who I wasn't someone my high school class would have called most likely to end up in weed. I started microdosing cannabis at 43 after my husband retired from the Navy and quickly realized it was a wellness supplement. Right. So I just keep going, and I'm not going to read you my entire bio. And again, like I said, I reserve the right to change my bio at any time, because if you're an entrepreneur, you're always changing, you're always pivoting, you're always, moving to the next thing. And you don't ever have to feel like you can't be changing your headline or your about section. It's yours, and it can morph with you as your career grows, and it should help you really tell the story of yourself that you want others to know if they've never met you before or before they meet you, because those are going to be the people who use the bio and about section to learn about you and to decide whether or not they want to follow you or connect with you. Okay. Let me just go over here for a mini min. Just want to see if there's any questions. I'm going on LinkedIn on my phone. Hold on, just to make sure, because I feel like last week I couldn't see the comments, and I don't want that to happen again. Here we go. It says there are 4 people on. Hi, Holly Murray. Yes, okay, great. There are people on. If you're on LinkedIn, I'd love you to make a comment. I'm over here in the comments now. I'm also watching over here on Instagram. All right. So we have finished off with, we're going to stop sharing. We're going to come back over here. So I kind of don't mind this. This is fine. All right, everyone. So we're going to move to the next topic. We talked about the profile. We're going to move to the next topic. What's up, Push and Play? What's up, everybody? Okay. Thanks for joining. We're moving on to topic number 2. Once I bring up what I need in order to get that to happen, which is my little agenda. Did you go over here? Where are you? Where are you? Sorry, guys. Need a sec. Oh my God. Why does there always have to be a fly in here? Where is that thing? Where is it? All right, I'll just bring it up again. All right, here we are. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so we've talked about We talked a little bit about writing your bio. Next up is optimizing your entire profile page. Hey, what's up, Sarah? Okay, so if you want to join me on LinkedIn, it's a much better experience because I'm sharing screen and stuff like that. All right, so optimizing your page. This is so important. Okay, I'm going to teach you something right now that every single one of you need to be doing, and so few people are doing this. Okay, we're going to share screen. And we're going to go over here. All right. So now we're going to go back over here and we're going to go to my newsletter. And I'm going to show you guys a very, I guess, unknown, but very important way to get people to pay attention to you on social media. And I'm just going to find it. Hold on one second. Why am I having so many issues today? Okay. So, everyone, if you are on LinkedIn or if you are considering being on LinkedIn because of this series, when you join LinkedIn or go start this right now, start a LinkedIn newsletter. I can teach you how to do it, or you can Google how to do it, but start a LinkedIn newsletter. Okay, this is my LinkedIn newsletter. It's called Curious Business. Curious Business has 3,708 subscribers. Okay, I can also click on these subscribers and I can see all of my subscribers. Some of them are just following me. They're not even connected to me, but I have 3,708 subscribers to my newsletter, which means there's 37 editions, which means every time I create a new edition, when I hit schedule or post, this goes out to almost 4,000 people who get it as an email in their inbox and also as a push notification to their phone that they have a new newsletter that they subscribe to read. So I am very careful with my newsletter. I make sure that I'm sharing really good information in there. At this point, I'm not selling my newsletter. Like, I'm not selling space in my newsletter, but you can see how valuable my newsletter is, given that almost 4,000 people are subscribed to it and they get a push notification and an email every single time I post on that. And I feel like there's nothing else. Like, email doesn't open like that. Like, there's nothing as good as this. So if you aren't taking advantage of LinkedIn newsletter, I want you guys to start right away. Hot tip. Okay. Anybody have questions about that? Okay, because we're going to move on. Moving on. Segment 2 here. We're moving into segment 2. Understanding, okay, pretend it's business Facebook. All right, pretend it's business Facebook. I just want to do a quick search here into my notifications. Because yesterday, hold on, where is it? Come on. I've got a lot of hate on here today. Sorry guys, this is taking me a sec. I want to show you guys something. This is why it's taking me a second. All right. So this is my friend and colleague, Brett Puffenbarger. Yes, that is his real name. He has 32,000 followers, and we have 3,000 mutual connections about. I respect Brett a lot, and obviously he respects me because he posts a lot, so I have to scroll down. Come on, posts. Sort by latest. Okay, come on. Give me 1 minute. Come on. He literally just posted this just the other day. It has to be after this. Next time someone gives me. Where is it? 2 days. I don't know. This is so annoying. Hold on. Sorry I wasn't ready, you guys. This sucks. I mean, this doesn't suck, like, obviously. I'm going to find it. I'm finding it. Oh, here it is. Yes. Okay. So 6 days ago, my friend Brett Puffenbarger wrote, Lauren Mundell said the smartest thing I've ever heard in regards to personal branding, and I don't feel like it got enough attention and recognition. Treat it like business Facebook. I want to tell you right now, treat LinkedIn like business Facebook, and you will succeed. If you think you get off a phone call with a client, you're kind of frustrated, you post about that on LinkedIn, you're going to get engagement. If you have a funny story to tell about work, if you are struggling about something and you share your negativity, if you're celebrating something and you share your positivity with caveats, you will start to grow and succeed on LinkedIn. If you overthink every single post and start being like, well, how does that relate to my niche? And is this really shedding me in the best light? And no, stop overthinking it and start using LinkedIn like business Facebook. Then you will start to see everything change. So, this makes me feel pretty proud that Brett, gave me a shout out, because it's true. Use LinkedIn like business Facebook, and success will start to come. So the other thing is, obviously LinkedIn is a professional website, but a professional site. And so, yeah, you should tie everything back to work, but like work is life. How you navigate your work-life balance is work. Things that you do with your kids, that's work. How you can put it all in a work context if you are a person who has work to do that is professional and that you can share on LinkedIn. All right. Next up, content diversity. This is very important. So many people come to LinkedIn just to share their own news and then never come back. That's not a successful strategy. You can't just come here, share your celebrations and the best part of your job, and then come back 3 months later and expect that that's a LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn presence. You need to be here. You need to be showing up. Does that mean you need to be here every day? I think so. Does that mean you could be here 3 to 5 days a week? Probably. So show up on LinkedIn. What does that look like? That looks like what I just talked about, business Facebook. It means sharing a little bit about what's going on in your life. And it means going into the comments of people who you are like-minded to and supporting them. And this is not Instagram. This is not, hey, emoji, emoji, I love you. This is something insightful, something that you feel, something that is relatable to the content. And as a content creator here on LinkedIn, you should also be sharing the type of content that people can comment on. So let's talk about the type of content that people can comment on. It is short form, interesting snippets that allow people to put their own voice into. So do not, please, put an entirely long bulleted paragraph that's telling the viewer everything they need to know about something. That's not what LinkedIn is about. LinkedIn is about sparking a conversation with other experts. That is how you start to become positioned as a leader on LinkedIn. All right. Next up is, yeah, I guess I'm just looking at my outline. I'm like, yeah. Let's unshare. Am I sharing my screen? I don't even think I'm sharing my screen, which is be great if I'm not. I'm not. Okay. That was great the entire time I'm talking, but at least on my Instagram it will be. All right, so let me just show you this post from Brett for those of you guys, and for my video. I'll just put it in later. Okay. Next up, building connections and engagement. As you just saw from the what I just shared, let me just actually share it right now. It's so important to build a community and build connections on LinkedIn. As I talked about, I've been doing this for many years, but it's really paid off in the relationships that I've built and the voice that I know that I've created on LinkedIn. And when I say created, I mean for myself, like it is my voice, by putting myself out there. And that has led to things like Brett Puffenbarger saying that I said one of the smartest things he's ever heard in regards to personal branding, and that's that treat it like business Facebook. And the reason why I have these types of relationships, and the reason why after this, someone else shared Brett's post and also tagged me and shared something showing that they were trying to do business Facebook, shows that the influence and the impact that building community over time has brought me. It's the daily interaction, it's showing up as a part of a community, and it's like Brett did here, it's celebrating other people and not just celebrating yourself. Thanks, Brett. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. Next. Oh, Holly Murray said, I'm her favorite creator. You can relate to me so much. That makes me feel so good. That seriously. I have a lot of imposter syndrome about being a creator because my vision has always been to support others and to support creators and influencers. But over the course of the past few years, I've actually become one myself. And so it's very interesting to be showing up in that way, and to have other people telling me that I'm one of their favorite creators makes me feel so validated, because I never really thought of myself as a creator, and I'm starting to step into that title, and it feels really good. So thank you. All right, next up, taking a stand. Now, as you saw from my LinkedIn, what I talk about is I say the quiet part out loud about PR, cannabis, influencer marketing, social media, and and public relations. And if, and that means that I have to be bold and brave. But I've built that profile over time by saying the quiet part out loud. And I decided to brand myself that instead of trying to always tell people who I am and what I do. So this way they can be intrigued and maybe follow me. And if that's not something that they want to follow, then they don't have to follow me. But I think one of the reasons why I've been successful on LinkedIn is that I take a stand. And I'm willing to have a conversation with people on the other side of the conversation. And that has been something that I've really gotten better and better at over the course of the past few years as I've been on LinkedIn. Live streaming. Okay. Next up. Yeah, building relationships through active participation. Okay. Active participation means using your scroll. People, when you go on LinkedIn, you might think, oh, I'm going to look for a job. No, this is how you use LinkedIn. Just like Instagram, you open it up and you scroll your feed and you find some things that spark you. Are they interesting for you to talk about? Then talk about them. Then comment on that. Is it interesting enough for you to make a post about yourself? Then do it. LinkedIn is not a place where you just every once in a while check in to see, like to post and then leave. No, this is a place where you start and continue having a conversation throughout the day and especially throughout the week and throughout the month and throughout the year. And that's how you build your LinkedIn community. Okay. What else? Let's see. All right. So how can all right. So like it's 1:54. I started a little bit late, so I can go over. What can I do to answer any questions for you guys? Who has questions? I can see the chat. I can see the chat on LinkedIn. I can see the chat on Instagram. Are there any questions that I can answer about becoming a thought leader on LinkedIn and what you should do? Any questions? I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. I don't know. Is there any more weed in here? I think just like a tiny. All right. No questions? Well, then I'm going to wrap it up. This was really fun. And I don't think this was my best live stream ever by any stretch, but I hope that I gave you guys some good information. This will be making for some excellent content, but it won't be necessarily, it wasn't the best live stream I ever did. So my apologies. How do you find conversations to join? On LinkedIn, the way you find conversations to join is by following people who are interesting to you. So go on LinkedIn, find the topics that are interesting to you. Search hashtag cannabis. Follow all the people who are talking about hashtag cannabis. Then you'll have an awesome news feed filled with all of the interesting people that you want to talk with. See what they're talking about, and then join in the conversation. See if you can get yourself invited to some cool groups where there's conversations happening that are off the main page. That's where you're going to start to build your really tight relationships. Find the people who are talking about the same thing you're talking about. Patty, great question. Does tagging people in your posts give you better exposure? No, it doesn't. Unless you are specifically talking about that person or that company, you shouldn't be tagging people in. Oh, about like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I started using that strategy and it really backfired for me. I would tag people and they'd be like, why did you tag me in this? Which I was kind of like, grow up, like I'm trying to get some engagement, but that just really did not do well for me. People are like, I don't understand why I'm tagged in this, even though it was clear that like I would tag people only when it made sense for them. And I think that's the key. If something is really spot on for somebody else, if you've been seeing that they've been posting about it, then give them that credit. Be like, saw this